I'm just gonna speak my mind and edit it later. First, I don't know what to say. My most recent video, the resetting Numamusme account, has been getting a lot of negative comments. Not exactly hate, but negative comments about the sponsor and the legitimacy, the trustworthiness of the sponsor. And I'm here to say that I'm no longer partnered with Bar. After I'd uploaded the video, I'd basically gone to sleep. And once I'd woken up and checked YouTube, I had seen all the comments and I assumed that, I'm guessing, the majority of my community, or at least a very vocal minority, do not wish to see those sorts of sponsors in the videos anymore, to see them promoted on such content in my channel. And I'm here to say that I've dropped the sponsor midway through my contract, so I don't know if I'll be paid for what I've done. I think I had only one more video left to do, but I've dropped them and you will no longer be seeing loot ads in the videos. And I guess I'll just go through exactly how everything happened, including how I see my channel and YouTube as a whole. So I started this channel, well, I had remade this channel to be an Umamusume channel. Prior, it was just me uploading whatever videos I wanted. And with me playing Umamusume, I decided, why not just upload my careers, upload some ideas that I had, and see what comes of it in 3 months. And if things didn't go well in that 3 months, I would basically just stop doing YouTube. I'd go back to doing my normal job, playing games, doing whatever, and it kept growing. And I'd had my first, I guess, semi-viral hit in the community, the no training run, alongside the initial S rank current video. And after that, things just kind of took off, and I don't think it would have been a smart choice, or at least not a choice that I would have wanted to make, where I would stop uploading. So I've continued to this day, and that's still how I see the channel as a whole. This is no more than just a hobby for me. I have a full life outside of YouTube. I have a normal job. I have, games and friends that I want to do and interact with outside. And YouTube generally is taking up quite a bit of time on the challenge content side. The career side is just me basically just recording runs as a one-off, getting a nice rating, and then uploading them. And that's just how I see YouTube. The revenue and everything is nice. Obviously, the money is sort of a determining factor, at least for me. I live alone, and working pays my bills, and getting more money on the side doing other things does help. It does help, and it is why initially I had taken the sponsor. So I think around a month or two ago, after the no training video, that had caught the attention of whichever marketing manager was in charge of doing Umamusme or looking out for creators. And they had approached me and they had offered me an amount to do 3 videos, a small 30-second segment as just a trial run plus extra affiliate commission. So I took it for the next 3 videos, the next 3 content like challenge based videos that I did, and we kept on renewing that contract the second time, and then up until this third time where I have terminated midway through past the resetting video. So initially I saw the sponsor as sort of a way that I could alleviate more costs and sort of justify myself doing this YouTube thing as slightly more than a hobby. But before taking the sponsorship, after they had reached out, I had done research. I had looked a lot through in how it works. I had asked multiple of my friends who have personal anecdotes of using Bar and similar sites like that, and they have had no problems. So obviously I was still skeptical, which if you are looking to buy on platforms like that, you should be. But I was still skeptical, so I launched one of my second accounts and I loaded up with a self top up option at the time, like without them knowing, with my own money to test and see how the procedure goes, how it works, and what sort of vulnerabilities or sort of issues there are. And after seeing the self top up in specific, I sort of had no issues, at least initially, promoting the service, since I think it honestly is probably the safest way to approach these things, especially with Uma Musume, where you can just log in, do whatever, log out, delete the account data, and you cannot access that account again. Well, personally, I haven't had anyone tell me, or that I know of in the Uma Musume community, have any negative sort of reactions with, so which is still a reason why I decided to continue and renew my contracts, which is why I think a lot of the claims and a lot of the things that I see are that it's too good to be true, it's untrustworthy, which there are anecdotes to say that it is, that it isn't, especially in the Genshin community with things like chargebacks. But as a whole, as I see for Uma Musume, is morally questionable at best. And that is how you should probably approach it if you do decide to use it. I'm not saying to not, but I'm not saying that you should. As someone who spent over, I think, around $4,000 or $5,000 on Uma Musume at this point through Cygames themselves, in the long run, if you purchase mass amounts, there is a high likelihood that issues could arise with your account, whether it's chargeback or any other sort of transactional issues, which is why you should not take content creators' words for it. You should not take my words for it, and do your own research and levy up or weigh up the positives versus the negatives in your own research. But that is still how I see the service, without being paid, without being sponsored by them at this current moment. And I don't think I will renew or take the sponsor back if they even decide to collaborate with me again after this video or after the exit that I've done. But I guess I could talk a little bit more about how Loop as a service runs, more than I'm like 90% sure that using a lower conversion rate currency to slightly change the value, I guess, for the purchases, which is why you don't see like insanely crazy discounts on there, which is why I also say that using it is morally questionable at best. And with the self top up service, I'll probably show on the screen with my own money again on the same account that I initially tested with, and that how it works and what goes on with it, and you can make your own assumptions and conclusions with that. I generally think if you are giving your account details or entering them into these sorts of services, that after they are done, that either the account data is wiped, whether by you or by the agent that is refilling the account, and that you probably change your data linking password in Uma Musume. I'm not sure about any other games, or if possible, just use a disposable credit card for the purchases. But I guess I can talk about what I'll do in the future. I'll still continue to create videos as long as I still have the passion for it. I still see the kind of growth and community that I see from it, and I see that the negatives, well, I see that the positives outweigh the negatives of me not putting in a little bit of effort each day after coming back from a 9 to 5, because I still do enjoy it. I still like coming up with ideas, seeing and reading questionable comments, and interacting with you guys in either the comments or on my Discord server. But I am here to take accountability for at least spreading the service as a whole to a wider audience than it should have in the Uma Musume community, with the sort of content and reach that I had frankly neglected that I have, and that I still can't fathom that I do have, which makes it hard since I don't see myself as a content creator for the game. I don't like making sorts of like PvP focused videos. I just want to have fun, make my ideas that I have for silly challenge runs or stupid career videos, or just me doing gacha pulls, and putting that into video format for you guys to enjoy, which is still hard for me to wrap my head around, that there is still such a big community that watches, that comments, that likes, that, you know, interacts with the videos, which is why I'll strive to do better in the future, not only in the sponsor department, but also in the content department, which is why I sort of decided to not associate with the sponsor anymore. I don't think I can go back and change the videos, but I'll try my best to try and cut them out, because with the public perception, at least in the community, of how it is perceived and how this has sort of hit me, I don't exactly want to be affiliated anymore, even though I personally still don't have an issue with the service. But as I've come to terms with, that I am a small content creator in the community, that I still have a reputation, a community, and ethics and morals to uphold, that I don't want to be connected with the sort of brand that and the reputation that Loot Bar has in the community, which I guess then goes on to the future. If I do take any other sponsors past this, it will probably not be in direct relation with the game, whether it be something like, I don't know, energy drink, or like supplement powder drinks, or whatever they are, like VPNs, or anything else that doesn't have to do with the game. So that is what I'll be doing moving forward, and keeping, I guess, in mind, in my head, that I have this sort of community to do right by, and not just take, blind sponsor money that is, well, morally questionable. And I'll do more research in the future, even more than I had already, to, not associate with sort of questionable brands, questionable services, and whatnot. I will still continue to do normal content. The planned video, at least for the last sponsor segment, or the last sponsor video that they would have sponsored, was for the Kita-san banner in a week. I'll still probably end up doing the video and any other videos that I had sort of creatively wise prepped for, just without the sponsor, and I'll also continue be doing the career videos and other sorts of, challenge content, and I guess loosely guide content. I don't see myself as a guide creator, especially in the career department, because, well, I'm using a a like $4,000-5,000 account that I, spend a majority of my time on. I don't think it's feasible for many people that are watching to, see the sort of stat lines, the sort of rankings that I get on a regular basis and assume that because they've watched the video and because they see the reasoning behind it, that they should then also get those sort of stat lines. It is I think the career is more a guide for how, at least now, I see or I perceive my thinking and the thought process behind sorts of trainings and whatnot. But I guess it has come to a point where it is technically, I am seen sort of as a career guide creator for either specific UMAs or other scenarios. But it's all still hard for me to take in to then also fathom and understand, because I had full intentions of stopping this channel itself basically about a month ago. I think would have been the 3 month period. Yeah, it would have been around a month ago, would have been when I stopped, especially with sort of the fact that I'm still balancing a social life, an online like life with my friends that I want to play games with a majority of the time. The fact that I have to balance then work and normal, you know, house life, because I live alone. On top of putting out videos, the sort of, I guess, pressure that I have put on myself to get certain videos out by certain days, to keep on recording more and more careers, to keep on coming up with engaging ideas and content that I think people would want to see and would be happy to see. And that's why it kind of hurts for to see my community that I guess I built to then be dissatisfied, not by a video, but by a choice that I've made purely out of greed and out of sort of self-worth, that if I take this X deal, that I will continue to make X content about, which I will try to at least not see YouTube in that light, but to be honest, it will still be second or even third to whatever I still want to do, which is, you know, real life stuff. I want to continue working, I want to continue furthering my skills, furthering my studies, and having aspirations to do other things in life apart from, just making YouTube videos, which I find fun, but I still have other goals and other greater goals outside of YouTube, I guess. And I guess this has sort of become a rant on the channel, how I see things, and to allow at least you guys to see, or at least get a glimpse into my mind of how I see things, whether that was past or present and future, which I'll try to work on. But again, it was more me starting this channel to then sort of try things out, test the waters, and if I didn't like it, if I didn't see the sort of growth that I did, or at least wanted to see, that I would stop and I would sort of have no regrets over, which I still don't. I'm still very thankful that, thousands of you watch the careers, watch the normal, like, challenge content, even show up to the live streams and the entering and communicating and engaging in the Discord server. And I guess that's where I'm gonna cut off my rant. I'm gonna try and piece this together coherently in editing, to at least to attempt to make it clear, or at least make my thoughts and how I vocalize them clear in this video. Either way, I'll continue with the normal content that I do, I'm probably going to slow down on uploading the careers just because it is slowly getting a bit too much for me to continually upload either new characters that I get because I'm not planning to pull anymore, or at least not much anymore until, good dolphin or whale cards or Oshi pulls or must pulls, really. But I'm gonna slow down because it's just becoming a bit of an unrealistic goal for me to keep on at least uploading daily with those careers with my current life right now. So that will at least slow down. I'll still try to get challenge content out every weekend and, try to make more engaging, entertaining videos that you would want to watch and that wouldn't have controversial sorts of sponsors in. Anyway, I'm gonna do my best. From now on, you'll no longer see loot bar sponsors in the videos, and I'll try and remove them as much as possible. And I guess that'll be it.